We led for 30 minutes. We won 3 of the quarters. We were able to turn them over 18 times and had, I believe, 28 deflections in the game, and wore VCU down. We're happy to come off of a bye week with a win like this. Wasn't our best game, wasn't our sharpest game, but a lot of times when you come off a bye week, you're going to have that. And so I'm very happy with the performance of our team, in particular our freshmen. We played Raina Green and Mac Blackford and Faith Walker for more than 22 minutes, all 3 of them each. And when you have 3 freshmen on the floor like that, they're really they're not freshmen anymore as we go into February. The old adage, the cliche that coaches talk about, like you can extend your minutes, they are prime examples of that. We had a game, I believe it was the Davidson game, where Faith Walker didn't even get in the game. And now she is doing things for us to help us win games every moment. And so whether you're in our locker room and maybe not getting as many minutes, or you're playing somewhere out there, you can always extend your minutes. All you have to do is have production, and production doesn't always mean scoring. In the case of Faith and Raina, it's rebounding. It's the way that they cut that open up other opportunities for other players. I can't say enough good things about what they gave us today, and then obviously Max shot the ball exceptionally well. We're happy to have a win. We're going ladies first? No, I'm just joking. I mean, like, I'm Zach, this is the greatest outfit of all time.
It's on the record too, Dan.
This is a record. For color explosion, I think. I love it. Anyways, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Speaking of Yinsplosions, you mentioned your freshman group, and you mentioned the ebbs and the flows. How important were those ebbs and those flows that you mentioned to get to a moment like what tonight was?
It's hard on all of us. Like some people think it's just the players that it's hard on. It's hard on us as coaches also, because I believe in everyone in that locker room. And I want to play everyone on that bench. I really, truly believe in every single one of them. But you have to produce when you come into the game. And I'm riding the hot hand. Once we go through our initial rotation, because we rotate every 2 minutes, as you can see, it's a constant change every 2 minutes in the first quarter, and usually late into the second quarter. After that, it's riding the hot hand. And so right now they've done that. Keandra's been a little under the weather. I expect her to be back. And Gabby Hutcherson has played really well all year. Tonight, not quite as much. And I have complete faith that she'll be back for the next one. It's for the kids that maybe didn't get to play the minutes that they would want to, or didn't get in, that, I hope that they see that it very simply comes down to, you've got to produce when you're in the game. And I'm repeating myself. You've got to have production. And that could be simply cutting really hard, screening well. And if you score, that's great too. But there's other metrics that we look at. And right now, this group of freshmen, and you can throw Nadia Moore in there, even though she didn't shoot it quite as well. Nadia Moore is also doing a lot of good things for us. So that's four of our 6 freshmen giving us really high-quality minutes.
Dan, after Meg got hit in the head in the third quarter and there was the technical foul, afterwards you guys came out and jumped out to a 10-point lead pretty quickly. How big was that moment for momentum, and did you use it to kind of rally?
I don't know if we rallied from it. The players may have. As coaches, we don't really kind of talk much about that, but I think the players do, because they have great respect for their captain and leader in Meg, and they're not going to let someone intentionally foul her in the face. And that was what the call was. I think Megan got underneath the player's skin consistently all game, and the player on the other team is a very good player. Very, very good player. But tonight I felt like we did a really nice job in how we defended her, and she still finished with 19. But she had to take a lot of shots to get there and had to exert a lot of energy. I just think we led for 30 minutes, almost 31 minutes, but we just could not create the separation that I thought we should have had. We had a missed layup at the beginning with Meg. We had a fumble with Ramey on the backdoor cut. We had another play in front of our bench at the third quarter where we could have extended it into double digits, and we missed it, and they went down and hit a three. We just couldn't put a run together of substance tonight to me, and that's kind of sticking to me right now. I have to be able to celebrate this, but I would have liked to have seen us extend a run one more time, and we just didn't quite have that.
Coach, there was a few loud blocks tonight, and you could tell the players were getting hyped after every one. What does it mean to you to see the players love to play defense like that?
I'm not one of those guys who is like, defense wins championships. That's such a cliche coach's thing, and it drives me nuts. Defense can help you win a championship, but at the end of the day, you have to put the ball in the basket. The way that we play, we're trying to wear you down. And when you play, 8 people, 9 people, and you're not used to playing at the pace that we're playing at, I think that leads to lazy shots sometimes by your opponents, which can lead to more blocks. We're not a shot blocking team right now. That's not what we do well. We've had players in the past like Kadri Ann Loss and Josie Ann Johnson who are great shot blockers, and both professional basketball players doing that at a high level right now. But that's not what our defense is predicated on. Our defense right now is really predicated, and where our energy comes from is really turning people and getting deflections and getting steals. And we did that pretty well tonight. We ended up with 10 steals. We had 18 turnovers and just I read around 30 deflections. And so when you have those kind of numbers and you make 10 threes, it's hard to beat us.
Sticking with that defensive theme. Okay, Dan.
I'm sorry. That outfit is unbelievable. I love it.
Anyways, regarding the first meeting between the teams, the first thing Meg mentioned was that the team really didn't defend for the first 3 quarters. Just how big of an emphasis was that effort and just having it start there? I know you say it's a cliche, but making sure that end is tended to.
Well, we didn't, and we showed them. They didn't defend, and we were down 15, 16 points going into the fourth quarter. And the lineup that we put in was very similar to the lineup that we had tonight with Raina, Faith, Mac, Nadia, and Meg. And with Journey being a sub. Very similar circumstances of what the fourth quarter was and what the entire game, the fourth quarter there was, and then the whole game here. So right now, that's our best lineup when we play VCU. There's no question about it, because for 5 quarters, they've played pretty well. Now, that may not be the case against St. Bonaventure or Rhode Island, who we have coming up, because I do believe that we're going to have Keandra, we're going to have Gabby H. I think Ramey hasn't given us enough minutes, her and Anj, and I expect that to happen. Just tonight wasn't their night.
You guys didn't win the rebounding battle. It's hard to win a game without winning the rebounding battle, so I'm curious where you saw your team pick up the slack that was left behind from not rebounding as well.
Well, it's been a point of emphasis, and we take the LaSalle game out because of what we tried to do in that game. And in the other games during this 5 of 6 wins or whatever it is, we've either won the rebounding battle or we've been within 2 or 3. When you play the way that we play with taking threes as early and as often as we do, people are not going to be in rebounding position, and that benefits us in some ways because of our lack of size. We can fly to the glass. But tonight, I felt that VCU did a really nice job of boxing us out. At halftime, I told the guys, I didn't say it before the game, and I've said it before the game for the last 6-7 games. I want us to have at least 3 offensive fouls going to the glass on offensive rebounds. Climb somebody's back, run somebody over, swim on them, do whatever you have to do. Because if we get 3 foul calls that way, we're probably going to have gotten away with it at least 7 or 8 other times and hopefully come up with a couple more rebounds. But tonight, it was certainly a little bit of a disappointment with how we rebounded. You can look at that number, but then you look, okay, 18 turnovers versus 8. That's 10 more possessions that we got. And then you talk about the deflections, and deflections lead to typically rush shots and bad offensive possessions. So we may not always win the rebounding battle, but when you see that turnover margin like that and the deflections being where they're at, and then the bench being 29 points to 6, that's going to lead to and then making 10 threes. That's going to typically lead to our success.
The joy that you showed in practice the other day, there were cartwheels and half-court shots, and it really carried into today's game. Just how much fun is it to see the joy, and as you turn into February, how dangerous can that be?
Well, we have some kids on this team that have played at other places, and they've shared with our freshmen that this isn't normal. A lot of people don't like each other when they're at the end of January. And those kids really do love one another, and they express that with cartwheels and doing crazy things before practice begins. And you have to make it fun. On Monday, we came off of a week, and we took Monday and Tuesday, and we were supposed to go about a half hour longer each day. And we had gotten our work in. We had great focus, and we had really gotten after one another. Why do we have to extend it any longer? That would be just coaching to coach. So we cut practice short, and we got them out of here, and they came raring out the door. Didn't start slow like we did at VCU. They're a really easy group to like, every one of them, and they really care for one another. And when you have that, it makes you really dangerous when you get to February. And we have to stay physically healthy and fresh, and mentally healthy and fresh. And we are on that track right now. Thank you for supporting women's basketball. And if you could only see Zach's outfit. Thank you.